Hello, warm welcome Croiso to this session about Canva, more specifically about getting the most out of Canva in 2026. My name is Daniele Mele, Daniele Adui, and this session is also possible thanks to my colleague Joe and Lucy. Thank you both. We are only part of a wider team in Promo Camry with support the third and public sector with digital, and we are very happy to have you here today to learn about Canva, which is a tool that we use on our day-to-day basis, whatever activities we do in promo, whatever team you are talking or working with. In fact, Canva is something that we use for really multiple reasons and purposes. So we use it for newsletters, we use to design content for social media, we use for designing posters. And it is only a couple of years ago that we achieved 2,500 design projects within the platform, which is a huge amount of it's a good number that reflects only in a very small part how much we rely on this platform on our day-to-day basis. Thank you also for taking part of the survey that was shared with you just before today's training. It's great to see that most of you already use Canva on your work, on your personal or in your personal life. Most of you actually rated themselves as 4 in the confidence of how you feel using Canva. So this is very encouraging, and it's great to have you here, whether you are a newbie, so very new to the platform, or whether you are a bit of an expert. Thank you so much for being here to watch this recording as well, and I really hope that all that has been covered in today's session will be helpful for you, whatever your organization work. The aims of today's session is to help you gain the skills and confidence to use Canva effectively in 2026. So we will be exploring Canva's keys, tools, and interface. We will be creating high quality content in just a few clicks, and we'll see how to make the most of Canva's time-saving features in 2026. First of all, of course, what you need to get the most of this session is having your own Canva account. So please, if you don't have one, go on www.canva.com and start creating one. Dioc, thank you for sticking with me for this small introduction. As you can see, I am already into Canva. For those that are familiar with the platform, what I was doing is basically playing my presentation with the present mode. So this is a Canva project. What I did was going on the right top corner of my screen, clicking on share and then present. And that will allow me eventually to present my presentation full screen as I did. So this is not the only similarities with other tool or software such as Google Slides or PowerPoint. In fact, as you can see, the way Canva works is very similar. I can drag and move objects within the frame. I can potentially change the text by double clicking on a block of text and changing the content accordingly to the change that I need to make, and I can potentially change the color of the icon. So as you can see, it's very similar to how Google Slides or PowerPoint works. If I go on the Canva homepage now, clicking on the left top corner of the screen, I will show you how Canva looks like when you first open it. So at the moment, I have a few files here, a few projects. This has been previously created. Canva basically save automatically every content, every project you start So all of these are slides or content that I have been making for today's presentation and other presentations in the past. But the way Canva look like when you first open it is very similar to this. You can start creating an account, as I said earlier, on www.canva.com. It is free, as we will see in a second. You can also download it or access it on your own tablet or phone by accessing the app from the store. So Canva is multi-platform, and this is one of the reasons for its success, but also is very user-friendly. So as we could see earlier, it's not that different from how Google Slides work. It's very user-friendly, but it has a very strong and huge potential. So as we can see from the homepage, we can create things and graphic design content for presentations, social media. We can work on videos, we can send our files to be printed, we can work on docs, whiteboards, sheets. We can also create our own website within Canva, and this is something that I would love to touch at the end of our session together today. But as we can see, there is a very broad variety of content that we can create, and what makes this even more amazing is that you can do all these for free. In fact, if I go on the left bottom corner of my screen, if I click on the icon with my name, as you can see, here is the email I am logged in. I'm part of a team at the moment in Promo Camry. If I go on settings, or actually if I go in plans and pricing, you can see that you can choose from different plans. At the moment, I'm not in free. You might be in that one if you first created Canva today. You can be pro if you pay for it, but my recommendation, especially if you are a charity, is to apply for the non-for-profits program. So you need to go, as I did earlier, on the left top corner of the screen from the homepage, clicking on the icon with your name and your profile, going into plans and pricing, and then from here, where you can choose from the different plans, you are able on top of the screen to click on non-profits. If you click there, as you can see, we are now in a new page where we can apply for Canva not-for-profits. There is the eligibility guidelines, so you might want to look at that and see if you are eligible to apply. But this, as I said, will be a good benefit for you, as you will be able to access all the features of Canva for free, and it generally takes up to 2 weeks to receive a notification and an answer from Canva. So I would really encourage you to give it a try, see if you can apply for that, and eventually, even if you don't really match the criteria, so just getting in touch with the Canva team and see how they can help eventually you to have this benefit. So I really encourage you to go for it. This will allow you to have access to all the premium features, as I said, and all the basically features that I will be using together with you today. So, where to start when you want to create something? First of all, I have created something for you today. This is a content, okay, that I have created pretending of promoting a an event that I have talked about. This is the Future of Youth Work, an online conference that is taking place in April 2026. Of course, this is just a case study, it's not something that is actually happening, but I wanted to create something that I could easily replicate with you, and that can be shown you what are the pillars of graphic design that we need to keep in mind when we design in Canva. I go back to the homework. So where to start? There are different ways to start creating in Canva. The first of all is go on the left top corner of your screen, click on Create. From there, as you can see, you can access a search bar. The search bar, remember this, is your best friend within Canva. We will see this continuously in our session together. What you need to type here is Instagram. In this case, this is what I want to create. I will be a bit old-fashioned and I will go for an Instagram post. If I click on that, I will be able now to fill the space. As you can see, I have a square frame. This is exactly the kind of dimensions I was looking for, as I was looking for a Instagram post square. I can change the zoom level from the right bottom corner of my screen. But as you can see, I have a space that I can easily fill with elements. Similarly to what I did earlier with the presentation, what I need to think of is what I will do if I will be in front of Google Slides or PowerPoint. Simply, I will add elements to fill the space. And this is what I will do with Canva now. So where to find all these elements? They can be found on the left side of the screen. As you can see here, there is actually a icon, a section called elements. What I need to do as first is adding a photo. This is where I generally start for every design I design. So I know for sure there will be some text. I might have them provided by a colleague, or I might have them on a notepad or on a Google Doc. I will leave it to a next stage of my designing process. The first thing I will do is identifying and find a photo that will suggest all the way I'm going to create my content. So in this case, I go on elements then, and I search for exactly what I have in the picture. Young people working on a laptop. So this is a long list now of resources that matches my search. As you can see, they are split into photos, graphic design elements, videos. What I will go for is photos, so I can click in this see all. And from here, I can pick one of the photo from this very long list of elements. I can choose which one I like the most by scrolling, spending a bit of time to find the right one. I kind of like this one, to be honest. So what I do is clicking or dragging and dropping it within my frame. You have absolutely all the rights to use this photo within your design, also for marketing purposes. So this is a free photo. As you can see, it's not marked with a crown. If it's marked with a crown, you can only use that resource if you have been paying or within a premium subscription, like the not-for-profit program. The one I have actually selected is free to use, so even with a free account you should be able to use it freely. Now the picture is in my design. As you can see, I can move it around, I can center it by following these purple lines. I am sure now it is perfectly centered. I can scale it by going on one of the corners, dragging them in order to make my picture bigger, and basically filling the space in this way. Potentially, when an element is selected, as you can see, a new bar appears. So for example, at the moment I have selected the gray background, nothing is visible in terms of additional menus. But if I click on the photo, a new bar appears, and that bar allows me to edit and interact with the element that is currently selected. If I go here, potentially what I can do is editing it and editing the picture. Like if I am on Photoshop, for example, I can apply some filters. As you can see, there is a long list of filters. I will go for the one I have previously used in my design, which is Duotone Peppermint. I can potentially go back, clicking on edit again, and apply a bit of blur so that the faces of these people are not necessarily recognizable. As you can see, a bit of blur works quite well. Now I have the picture, I have it matching the style I have previously used. It's not the same, but it does its work quite well. Now I need to add some text and basically completing this design. How to do so? By doing it, I would love to actually share with you a bit of how Canva works, how the basic features of Canva design works, and also sharing with you a few graphic design principles. So after the background, it's important to add the element that convey the information, which is the text. Where to find this? Similarly to what we did with the photo, everything you need to fill the space is on the left side of your screen. In this case, if I go on text, I have add a text box. If I click there, as you can see, a text box appear on my screen. I can double click and change the text within. I can stretch it. As you can see, I can align the text within the text box, similarly to the way it used to be in the other design. I can also make it bigger. I can change the font type by clicking on remember, the bar at the top of my screen, the one that appears when an element is selected. I click on Bernoulli, which is the font I previously used in my other design. Now I can adjust it slightly and make it slightly smaller. The issue with this is that if I go for the color I have previously used, which is, give me a second, I will find it in a minute. It should be somewhere here, here we are. If I go for the color I have previously used, as you can see, it's quite hard to read. So what I need to add is a square that will highlight the text I have just added. How to do so? Again, left side of my screen, I can clear the selection I did earlier for searching for the photo, and I type exactly what I need, a square. As you can see, a new list of elements appears. I click on the first one, which is good enough for what I need, a square, and a new element appears on my screen. I can stretch it, I can move it, I can align it together with my text. If you are in the position in which this content, okay, this element is above, as you can see, your text, like in this case, you might want to click on the right click of your mouse or cursor and then doing layer send backward, which will move your square underneath the text or whatever is below. In this specific case, my square is selected. I need to change the color, and I change the color according to what I did previously, which is going for this gradient or gradient. Here we are. I'm kind of happy with this, and I will leave it here at the center of my screen. Probably what I can do now is just stretching the photo a little bit to make the people being more visible. Now we have the first text, we have the square that highlighted. We might want to add online conference, so I will do it again, text, add a text box. I have a new text box here, and I click on online conference. I change the text into white, and I change the font into the font I previously used, which was Red Kids. I will do lowercase. I will make it bigger, and I will move it underneath my main title. So as you can see, you don't need much to really create something that is appealing and full of information. In this specific case, I'm just using a photo, a few shapes, the text, which is where the informations are. I can complete it by adding basically what is missing. In this specific case, I will add another text box. I will add April 2026. I can change the color into white. Sorry, my bad. I selected the color, the text. I can change the font again. I may go for Canva Sans, maybe bold. I can change the alignment of it and place it where it used to be. As you can see, I'm using the purple lines to best align the content. So in this case, I'm following this purple line here to align my new block of text with the shape, to make it more tidy and looking professional. I will complete my design again by adding a button. Again, what I do is searching for button in elements. I go for graphic elements. I can select this red button, changing the color to the green I used previously. Right click, I can align it to the center of the page, or I can follow the purple lines that suggest me the best alignment. And I, in this case, add a line that says register now. How to do so? Potentially what I can do is selecting a block of text that I have previously added to the design, 3 dots, or duplicate, and move the new duplicated text to where I need it. I can align it center, make it smaller. Potentially I can also make it smaller or bigger by changing the font size and placing it at the center of our, as you can see here, button. Last but not least, we have 2 elements that we are missing, the animated arrow and the logo. How to add the animated arrow? Guess what? Left side of our screen, elements, again, search elements, I put arrow and I add animated. What I get at this point is a long list of, if I click on graphics, animated arrows, in which I needed to choose the one I have previously selected. Or I can go for something that is different but similar. For example, I kind of like this one, or I kind of like, there was something pretty as well here. I kind of like this one, I can select it. It appears into my design. I can make it smaller, I can rotate it, and I can place it next to my register now button. As you can see, the element is not static but is moving, and we'll see what difference this will make when we download this design. Now, the last element is the logo. Where to find this? Well, the logo is a promo Camry logo, so it's not provided within the Canva library. If I look for promo Camry, it shouldn't give me exactly what I'm looking for. But for uploading elements within Canva, from your device to Canva, you can use the left side of our screen, Uploads section, in which you are allowed to add files from your device, upload files from your device, or record a video eventually as well by using your webcam. In this case, I have previously uploaded the Promo Camry logo. I can click on it and I can treat it similarly to what I did with the previous elements, making it smaller and placing it next to our button, maybe aligned, okay, as I did with our, as you can see, at the center, at the vertical center of our button and on the side of our square. And our content is, as you can see, ready to be downloaded and published on Instagram or wherever we like to publish it. How to download it or how to publish it? You go on the right top corner of your screen where there is a share. Do you remember we used this feature before to go into present mode in the presentation? In this case, we will click on download and we select the file type. Canva as default in this case suggests me MP4 video, which as we can see is a video format from the icon and for the title of the format in itself. This is because I have an animated element, the arrow, but if I want just to go for a static image, I can change this to a picture format. As you can see, there is the picture icon. JPG best for shading, this is what I'm going for. I don't need to change anything here, I'm absolutely fine with the quality and the size, and I click on download. Canva then starts downloading my resource. As you can see, it is downloaded. If I now go into the download folder of my device, in this case I am on the laptop, I should be able to open it, and this is the final result. It is a picture ready to be published on Instagram. So if I am on the phone, I could download it from my Canva app and upload it directly into Instagram. Or alternatively, I can go on share, linking Instagram to my Canva account and publishing it directly from Instagram. So the design is ready, but you might be wondering, okay, I knew how to do the static design already. How to turn this into an animation? This is something that we'll see in a second. In fact, I have actually turned this video into an animation. But before we move into that, you may remember this was only one of the ways in which you can start creating something in Canva from an idea. The other ways, if I go back to my home page, are, do you remember I am now on Canva, www.canva.com. I just moved into a different tab in my browser. The other ways you can do, you can turn your ideas or your needs into a design is to click on Canva AI on the left side of your screen, and from here, as you can see, there are different templates, AI templates that you can use. You can do a bit of coding. This is a very powerful feature and I really encourage you to explore it in your own time. You can create some videos based on a prompt. You can create some pictures, but you can also create some designs. So for example, if I click on design here and I describe what I need, for example, an Instagram post to promote an event called the Future of Youth Work. Let's see what Canva gives me if I click on submit. It might take a few seconds or also minutes sometimes. As you can see, it's still generating. it shouldn't take too long. And here we are. I got already the first two designs. We actually got 4 of them. I kind of like the first one, the second one as well. I'm not too sure about the third and the fourth one. As you can see, eventually you can continue to edit them. You can ask for more design. You can apply your brand kit. You can add, more elements. You can still use the prompt bar here to ask anything you might need to add to Canva. Let's say, for example, if I do apply brand kit, what happens? I can select the brand kit I want, and I will explain you what I mean with this in a second. I have actually a brand kit that I have set for my youth work conference. I click on that, and Canva now should edit them according to my brand kit. So the logo and the colors of my, as you remember, event, which is kind of a turquoise, green, blue, yellow. This is the kind of color I've been using. Let's have a look at what happened here. Eventually I will show you another way to apply your brand kit. Canva is also generating different pictures, not only applying the brand kit, but based on the brand kit, he actually created a few more designs. I'm kind of happy with this one actually. This is actually quite nice as well. I didn't mind these two. Let's go for one of them without overthinking it. Let's click on this one and use Canva editor on the right top corner of my screen. Now, what happened is that I am in the Canva editor, basically the same environment where I used to be so far. In this place, I'm able now to move the elements, apply the changes I need, delete the elements that I don't want. Okay, move things around. I can replace the picture. As you can see, the picture in itself here has been generated by AI, but I not be happy with that. So let's go for a different picture, which can be also generated by AI. So previously what I did was going on search, do you remember? And searching for young people working on a laptop. Now I will do the same, but instead of going for photos, I will click on generate images, which might take a couple of seconds, but will provide me a result that is not a stock picture from the web, but it is a unique AI generated image. For example, like this one, I can also continue to generate more, but let's say I kind of like this one. I click on it, and I have this image, which is AI generated. I can make it smaller or bigger within my design. I can do the same things I've been doing earlier. I can potentially, even with this picture, apply a filter. I can potentially, especially if there are some glitches made by AI, I can potentially apply a bit of blurriness. So basically those glitches or errors are not visible anymore. And I might go for, the design I just made, applying, like the changes I needed to do in the text. Probably something that Canva didn't do very well this time is applying the brand kit. So do you remember I've been mentioning about having my brand kit in place? What does it mean and how it works? If I go on the left side of my screen in this AI generated template, I can go on brand, and here what I can do is changing among the different brand kits that I have set into Canva. In this specific case, I go for the one called the Youth Work Conference. In here, there are all the colors that identifies my brand and that identifies my event. There are also the font, the typefaces that I've been using in the past. So if I click here on Shuffle, for example, as you can see, Canva is shuffling colors based on the colors that I have provided. So it gives me an idea of how my brand kit would work within my the design I have just created. I can also potentially change it manually as I am doing. So I select an element, and if I go on colors, I don't pick just a random color from the colors provided by Canva, but I can choose a brand kit that embodies the color of my organization or event. In this case, I have a youth work conference set up. The same happens with the fonts. Here, I just don't go for a random font, but I go for the font that I have previously registered. In this case, it doesn't look that great, but it is for the sake of showing you how you can do things with your brand kit. And you might be wondering, okay, Daniele, how do I set a brand kit then? Let's go back to Canva homepage. So let's say this is sorted, it's done. I'm kind of happy with this. If I go on homepage, left top corner of my screen, I clicked on the house. I don't need anymore to generate things with AI, so I can leave this page by clicking on Canva homepage again, maybe by clicking on the Canva logo. In this case, I go on brand. Can you see I am on Canva homepage? I go on the left side of my screen, I click on brand, and here I am able to add a new brand kit. So, for example, if I go on Youth Work Conference, I'm able to see what I have previously added, promo Camry logo, the colors, identified each of them by a specific code, the fonts. So everything is here for me to be used within the designs. As you can see, there is also the brand voice, which is very helpful when we ask AI to generate text for us. We can tell how we want to sound like, and we can ask them, well, we can ask Canva to generate text based on our brand voice. So you can set anything that you think could be relevant. For example, here I have uploaded the photo of myself, Joe and Lucy. There are some graphics. It's really up to you how much you want to organize this page. Keeping in mind that these can be very helpful and time-saving when you work in a team and you share the same Canva account or team, or anyway, Canva environment. So back to our design then. We saw how to create a content based on creating it from scratch by adding elements from the left side of our screen. Creating I will go back to my homepage, content based on a AI prompt. There is a third way, which is actually very powerful, which is using Canva templates. So we saw that briefly so far, and those templates were created by AI. But if I go again on create on the left top corner of my screen, do you remember this search bar? I click on Instagram post again. Let's say I'm trying to recreate the same design once again. I click on Instagram post square. And then in here, what I can do is, instead of start adding element within the frame, I will choose one of the templates. Can you see there is elements, but there is templates as well. I can choose one of the templates provided by Canva. How do they work? Well, first of all, even in this case, you have a search. So I can put event, or I can be also more specific, youth work event maybe, and see what happens. We have a long list of potential templates we can choose from, potential designs. When we find the one we like, so for example I kind of like this one, I can click and I have a design that is already made for me from Canva. So what I need to do is just changing the elements. For example, the text, do you remember? It was called the future of youth work. I can change it here with online conference. Potentially I can still change the font. Okay, so it doesn't need to be that I am sticking to what is provided by Canva. And again, I can apply my brand kit automatically by using the brand tool feature on the left side of my screen. So as you can see, it is as simple as this to create a design that follows all the principles that we have been using earlier. Do you remember? A picture, some text, some colors that embed our brand identity. Okay, I'm literally doing the same. In this case though, I didn't create everything from scratch, but I've been using a Canva template. And if I'm happy with this, now I can go on share and download. So just to recap, we saw 3 different ways to create a content from scratch: by using AI, so asking AI to create a design for us, or by using a template. So what we can do from a simple page then? How we can turn, as I said earlier, a design into an animation or into a video, because we saw that Canva provides so much of possibilities and tools. This is the way it works. So do you remember this? This is what I did today with you. You might remember this as well, which is the one I previously made. If I go on my Canva homepage, give me a second, I will leave this. I have previously created, as you can see, all the designs are saved automatically, first of all, so I didn't lose any progress of all the things that I've been creating together with you today. But if I go and I open one of my previous design called animation, we might see that at first this might look like a normal design, but it is actually a video. So if I click on preview on the right top corner of my screen, as you can see, what I have is not just a design, but it is a kind of an animation where we move from one slide to another. I will play it again. So how I did this? As you can see, if I look at the bottom of my screen, there is not only one slide, one page, but there are different ones. And each slide is basically one sequence in the clip that I have created. How to add a slide? Well, easy, there is the plus button. But what I did is nothing else than, you remember the design we did together? Looking at the bottom and adding a slide in which I might want to design something different. So for example here, I add a video. If I go on elements and I search for young people working on a laptop, instead of going for a photo, in this case I go for, elements, I go for a video, see all, and I pick a video from one of the one that is provided. For example, I might like this one. I click on that. I can make it bigger. It works exactly as a picture work. I can potentially also add effects, so filters. okay? At this point, as you can see, I have 2 slides. I can also duplicate one slide. So for example, this is slide number 1. I can click on 3 dots, duplicate page. As you can see now, I have a duplicate, and I can move it from page 1 and 2 to become page 3. Oh, sorry, my bad. So page 1, page 2 the video, and page 3. If I go on preview now, this is how it looks like. I have the first page, then page 2 is the video. It's quite long probably. If I go further in the timeline, at one point the page 3 will appear. Here we are. So as you can see, I have a video. The one I did previously, it just worked better because I have not only managed the length of each scene, but I have also added a music and some transitions. How to do that? If I go back to this, which is the example I'm working with you today, I can first of all going on the video and making it shorter. So I can select the video, and as you can see, as I am interacting with the video, I can trim it. So instead of 27 seconds, which is the length of the video, I can make it shorter and select maybe only 5 seconds. As you can see here on the left side, I can maybe click here directly and put 5. And the section now is a section of 5 seconds, which I can move around the length of the video, select which part I prefer, I like. In this case, I'm quite happy with this, where the lady is smiling. I have a preview. If I'm happy with that, I just move to the next slide. I can check the length of this slide again, which is 5 second.7. I can put it 5. So as you can see, it's just about selecting the different element, changing the timing. And now, what I can do also between slides, I can add a transition. So for example, if I hold my cursor between 2 slides, as you can see, I have a new button appearing, which is add transition. In this case, I can click on add transition, and I can select the transition I want from the one provided. I kind of like circle wipe, for example here, I click on that, and I can see circle wipe appearing. Not in the whole video, I might like maybe to change it for this scene to color wipe maybe. As you can see, I have color wipe here, I have circle wipe here. If I go on preview now, this is what I got. 5 seconds the first slide, transition, video, is not as long as it used to be, it's only 5 seconds, and then circle wipe into the new slide. Am I missing something? Yes, I am missing the music. Where to find it? You might have already audio within your menu on the left side of your screen. If you don't, okay, for example, I will delete it from mine now. You can go on apps. So remember elements, text, brand, uploads. These are all things we have been seeing. Potentially there is tool for drawings. But what we need now is going into apps. And from this list, we can go down and select audio. Or we can search for audio in the search bar. And we pick the one with the white background, which is the one provided by Canva, because within these apps, we can actually also access third parties tools. In this case, I stick on the one provided by Canva, which is this minimal icon, minimalistic icon. I click on audio, and I am in front now of a screen a window, a menu that is very similar to the one I've been using in the past. The only difference is that it's about audio this time. I have a search bar where I can search for a music. In this case, I'll search for youth. And based on my search, I have a long list of music tracks. I can preview them. Select the one that I like. I kind of like this youth, so I select on it, and as you can see, the music track now appears into my video. I can also change it, so for example, if I double click on it, I can, similarly to what I did with the video earlier, I can move the music track in order to select which part of the music track I like to have in the video. I can add a bit of fade, so I can add a bit of fade in and a bit of fade out. And when I'm happy with the result, I can go on preview and see how it sounds like. If you are happy with the result you achieved, you can download it by clicking on share, right top corner of your screen, download, and instead of downloading it as JPG in this case, you download it as MP4 video. But before I do that, I just wanted to share with you another important feature which I think can be very powerful, especially if you work on social media, which is captions. At the moment we don't have any audio or anything that needs to be captioned here, there is no voiceover, there is no one talking or speaking. But if I add another page and I add a video I have previously uploaded into Canva, because you can also upload videos, this is a clip where I am talking and basically inviting audience to join the youth work conference. For example, this is what I say if I play it. I will go into play. Hello, this is Daniele. Don't miss the future of the youth work. It's a great event, it's going to be online, and I will be there. See you! As you can see, there is a bit of the intro and outro that I can trim. So I click on trim, similarly to what I did earlier. I can delete all the empty part at the beginning till I'm starting to speak. Hello, this is Daniele. And I will do the same at the end after I wave to the camera. I don't need anything else afterward. Hello, this is Daniele. Don't miss the future of the youth work. It's a great event, it's going to be online, and I will be there. See you! Hello, this is Daniele. Don't miss... And now what I have is this. Preview. Hello, this is Daniele. Don't miss the future of the youth work. It's a great event, it's going to be online, and I will be there. See you! It might sound and look fine, but what you know is very important nowadays, and this is a matter of accessibility as well, is adding captions. How to do so? Well, the good news is that you can do it very easily in Canva by selecting the clip in which there is someone speaking, in this case myself, and clicking on captions. Then you select from one of the style provided. In this case, I will just go for something very simple, such as the classic one. You can also choose the color. So in this case, I'm kind of happy with the black and white. And I click on generate captions. It might take a few seconds. Then if I go on preview, hello, this is Daniele. Don't miss the future of the youth work. It's a great event, it's going to be online, and I will be there. See you! As you can see, automatically, Canva added some captions based on what I say. If I want to change them, again, I just select them and I go into captions and I can change them manually. But Canva in itself did a fantastic job. I'm very happy with that. So I will say, let's download this video. So I go on the right top corner of my screen. I click on share, download, MP4, download. Make sure you are selecting all the pages. Download. It might take slightly longer than usual. So if you are used to download pictures, this step might take slightly longer. But it's absolutely understandable since it is a video in this case. It might still take a few seconds. Here we are. It is actually ready. So if I go on my laptop and into my download folder, this is what I got. Hello, this is Daniele. Don't miss the future of the youth work. It's a great event, it's going to be online, and I will be there. See you! As you can see, in a very few clicks I have created a promotional video without having too many skills. I just applied all the basic principles of creating a static design into different slides, adding some videos in this case, adding a bit of music, but it's not far from what you might be able to do it already or from what you are used to do. And this is kind of everything about what I wanted to cover today in this session. I just wanted to mention a couple of more things. One of them is, let's go back to the slide here, slide 1. Because many of you might work, of course, with the need of translating designs and content into Welsh, I would love to show you how to do it automatically within Canva. So, as you can see on the left side of my screen at the moment, I have the app Translate. I will actually delete it because I will show you where to find it. So again, for anything that is not provided on the left side of your screen, you can click on apps. In this case, I will clear my search for audio. And at the bottom, I go for Translate, or potentially you can search for Translate in the search bar. Again, this is a service provided by Canva. I can translate the the picture now by selecting the language I need to translate it to. In this case, I will go for Welsh. Page, current page. I can also translate all of them, but I'm happy with translating page 1. Or maybe I can do page 3, why not? Page 3 can be in Welsh. Translate, and let's see what happens. Now I got a copy of page 3, as you can see. One is in English, page 3, and page 4 that has been created is in Welsh. So of course you might need to double check this with a Welsh translator, but as you can see, each text has been translated into the new language exactly where it was, exactly respecting or following the kind of text style that has been previously chosen. I might get rid of page 3 now, and I have page 1, the cover in English, video, page 3 in Welsh, and then my kind of clip. And this is how you can also use translations within Canva and your designs. Remember, I will do it again, apps. This is where you can access third parties features or extra features, either provided by Canva or from other providers. I'm not going for audio this time, but I will go for translations. You can also use these. I will show you something for creating QR codes, okay? And really, this is a new space where you might want to spend a bit of time to really discover all the different possibilities and features that Canva offers by applying and having access to third parties services. So I really encourage you to have a look at it. I believe this was kind of everything for today. Thank you so much for your time and for being watching this session. I really hope this was helpful. Again, this was for you to gain confidence and really step in the platform in your own time. I really encourage you to do so. The possibilities of the things you can do in Canva are endless. Just for you to know, this is my page, Canva project, in which I have created a website for the future of youth work. Again, it is basically a website created exactly in the same way I have been creating design with you today. And this is the website as published. A proper website with buttons, videos, animated elements, a map, okay, contact details that I can click. So everything is possible within Canva, within the features provided by the platform. So I really encourage you to really spend time and get to know this platform more, because I believe it can be a really game changer in whatever you do. This was everything for today. Thank you so much, Diokin Faur, and see you at the next training, hopefully. Bye bye.